After a nuclear attack, you may not be able to use your lavatory because there might not be enough water to flush it, or the whole system might be damaged. So start collecting now items which will help you prepare your emergency toilet arrangements. Keep them in your fallout room. First, buckets or containers, preferably with lids or covers. If you line them with large plastic bags, it will make it easier to empty them. Try to rig up some kind of seat across the top of the bucket or container. And don't forget, plenty of strong disinfectant and toilet paper. All of those items should be kept in your fallout room. You will also need a dustbin with a well-fitting lid for the plastic bags when they get full, having first tied the neck of the bags. Keep the dustbin just outside your fallout room, and get another separate bin for food scraps and other rubbish. A nuclear explosion produces intense heat. This can get through unprotected windows and set fire to things in your home. But there are steps you can take now to cut down the risk. First, whiten your windows with white paint to reflect some of the heat away. This will cut down the risk of these fires. Then get rid of junk lying about in your attics and upper floors, especially old papers and magazines which can catch fire easily. The heat from the bomb strikes at attics and upper floors most easily, and fires there are usually the hardest to put out, so pay particular attention to these places. In other parts of the building, clear away papers and magazines. Then net curtains from windows. And any old rubbish inside or outside your home which is likely to catch fire easily. Small fires can be put out easily if they are tackled at once. If they are left, they spread fast and soon get out of control. The fire brigade may not be able to reach you, and you will have to protect yourself without any help. So prepare now. If you have a fire extinguisher, keep it handy. Or a garden hose could be very useful. Keep buckets of sand and water ready on each floor. When you take cover in your inner refuge, you must not go outside until it is absolutely safe. And if the fallout is heavy, you may be in your refuge for quite a long time. Although the danger from fallout will get less and less as time goes by, you will never be able to judge for yourself how bad it is. Advice will be given to you on the radio, so keep listening. This advice over the radio and other instructions and news will be very important to you while you're cut off from the people living around you. So make sure your radio is in good working order. And if you have a spare radio, keep it in your fallout room. Radios must be battery operated because your electricity may be cut off. So be sure to get some spare batteries. After a fallout warning, you have been advised to take cover in your inner refuge. The first 2 days will be the most dangerous period because fallout will be at its worst. So it is in your best interest to stay in your inner refuge the whole of that time, however cramped or uncomfortable it may be. But if you must leave the refuge to go to the lavatory or to get more water or food, don't stay out a second longer than is necessary. In any case, don't go outside the fallout room at all. After 2 days, the danger from fallout will be less, but it may still kill you. So the longer you stay in your inner refuge, the better your chances are. Although it may be fairly safe for you to move about inside your fallout room, it certainly will not be safe for you to go outside the house until the radio tells you. So keep listening to your radio for advice. At first, You'll be told when you can go outside the house for a short time to get rid of lavatory waste and rubbish. Then, as the danger from fallout begins to pass away, you will be able to stay out for longer spells. There may still be a lot of fallout dust lying about, so be careful not to bring it back with you into the house. Keep a separate pair of boots or strong shoes for going out. Before coming in, take them off and wash or wipe them, soles as well. It is also a good idea to wear rubber gloves while you are outside. Try to keep the younger people indoors as much as possible. In fact, it will be far wiser for only people over 30 to work outside until things get better. And now a reminder of some of the things we have told you in earlier films. Fallout can kill, though you cannot see it, feel it, or smell it. There is danger outside, so don't go outside. Stay in your fallout room until you are told it is safe to come out. After an attack, fires will start in many places. The fire brigade may not be able to help everyone, so it might be up to us to tackle the fires in our own homes. Here is some advice on how to do it. Make sure that you have turned off gas and electricity at the mains. Don't smoke. Then start checking for fires. Start at the top of the house. Check roof space and every room, putting out fires before they get out of control. Small fires can be put out quite easily if they're tackled at once. If they are left, they spread quickly and take hold. Use water from the tap if there is any. Earth and sand are also useful. Put all the members of your family to work putting out fires in the house. When you are satisfied that the inside is safe, check the outside of the house and make sure that you are safe from any fires which have started nearby. When you have seen to your own household, help any neighbor in need. If you have used any of your precious drinking water to fight fires, make good your reserves. Fill up all your containers again and put covers on them. Turn off your water supply at the mains. It may become contaminated. If your house is damaged, you may have a little time before a fallout warning to carry out minor jobs to keep the weather out. Curtains or sheets may be used to cover broken windows or holes. Then listen for the fallout warning. If it comes, take cover in your inner refuge and stay there. Earlier we told you what to do to prepare emergency lavatory arrangements in or near your fallout room. It will not be easy for you to keep clean in shelter conditions, mainly because it is unlikely that there will be any water to spare for washing or for flushing the lavatory. But cleanliness is essential to prevent sickness, and here are a few simple rules to help you. All toilet containers should be covered when they're not in use. Pour in some disinfectant. It will cut down the smells and keep off flies. When you have used the bucket lavatory, wipe your hands with toilet paper soaked in a little mild disinfectant. Throw the paper into the container and put the lid on. Keep an eye on small children and see that they do the same as you to keep clean. Don't let the bucket get too full. If you have lined it with a plastic bag, tie the neck tight before lifting it out. And put it in a separate dustbin well away from the fallout room. Put a fresh plastic bag into the bucket with a few drops of disinfectant. Cover the bucket with a lid. When it is safe to do so, take the dustbin and its contents outside the house. Remove the waste and bring the empty bin back. Food scraps Empty tins and other rubbish should be wrapped up tightly in newspapers and put in a separate dustbin. Keep the lid on. If you have got only one dustbin, use that for toilet waste only. Put all other rubbish separate in plastic bags or paper until you can take it outside the house. Keep your hands as clean as possible. Wear rubber gloves for dirty work. Try to avoid touching food with your hands as much as possible. Keep your knives and forks, plates and cups, etc. clean. Dry, clean sand is quite good for this. After an air attack, your water taps may run dry, or the water in them may be too dangerous to drink because it has been poisoned by fallout. So your life may depend entirely on what you have stored. Keep it clean by covering the containers. Its main use is for drinking, but use it sparingly. For each person, you should have stored at least 2 pints for each day. Don't waste water on washing or anything else. If you must use water for cooking, use as little as possible. If you heat cans of food in a saucepan of water, don't throw the water away. It can be used over and over again. By the way, make sure you pierce the top of the can before heating. Dip your dirty knives and forks into the pan while the water is still hot. Water is life. Save it. You should by now have built up an emergency reserve of tinned food or other foods that don't go off quickly and that can be eaten cold. Keep your food reserves in your fallout room. And remember to keep them well covered to protect them from fallout dust. There might be fallout dust on the packaging. Take care this does not get into the food. So wipe the tins, packets, and bottles. You may not be able to replace your stocks of food for a long time, so make them last. Most of the time, you'll be resting in your fallout room, and you won't need to consume much food. Eat the smallest amount you can get by with, and plan meals carefully so that there is no waste. And remember, keep your food covered from fallout. Wrap open tins and loose foods. Prepare small amounts at a time. You may not be able to replace your stocks for a long time, so ration food carefully. After an attack is over and the all clear has been sounded, arrangements will be made as soon as possible to treat any people who are ill or injured. Listen to your radio. Details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and how. If anyone dies while you are kept in your fallout room, move the body to another room in the house. Label the body with name and address, and cover it as tightly as possible in polythene, paper, sheets, or blankets. Tie a second card to the covering. The radio will advise you what to do about taking the body away for burial. If, however, you have had a body in the house for more than 5 days, and if it is safe to go outside, then you should bury the body for the time being in a trench or cover it with earth and mark the spot of the burial.